Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. I'm Connie Douglas from Great Stamping with Connie. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada, and I would like to welcome you to CraftSpot. You might notice I have a little extra today. This is Felix. He is wandering around in the crafting area right now, which is okay for a moment, but he's going to have to leave very soon. He, of course, came, 30 seconds ago, right before I was about to go live, and declared that I should hold him and he should lick my blocks and stuff. Anyway, the joy of cats. Felix says hello. Say hello, Felix. Come here. Come here, you. You need to say hello and then you need to get down and go. See, in the camera. Look in the camera. Cats. What can we do, right? Anyway, off he goes. Hopefully he'll stay there. But welcome to Craft Spot. I'm trying to be a little bit jingly and festive, but this is actually long, and when it's down, you don't even see that there's bells on the bottom of this lovely beaded necklace. So here I am being festive. That's it. That's about all you're going to get for festive in the next little bit because I can't keep it up. So hope you enjoyed that quick view and happy holidays. We are getting so very close. Oh dear. I put some more in the mail this morning, but I am so late. I do have some Happy New Year cards, and I think I'm going to send some of those because Christmas cards just aren't going to get there in time anymore. Where are we? We are the 18th of December. So 1 week from today, and we will have arrived at Christmas Day. So Merry Christmas if you celebrate. Happy Hanukkah if you are, what are we, three or maybe 4 nights in now? Um, and if you celebrate something else, I wish you the very best of your season as well. Okay, what do we have on the go for today? Not as much. Things are starting to get a little bit quiet on the Stampin' Up! Front uh, as we get closer to the holiday season. There are lots and lots of wonderful things coming for the beginning of January, though, and I am going to share one of those with you today. It's a new bundle called Fragrant Layers, and it's lovely. I played with it just a tiny bit last night for the very first time at our team meeting, and I will show you what I created there. We played a game where you roll a dice, and depending on the number on the dice, that's what you have to do. We learned, and we would tweak it a little bit the next time, as in have your bits bucket handy because sometimes you start with something that really doesn't make any sense. But if you had a bits bucket close by and maybe some sentiment pieces cut out, then you could create a card, and it might look a little bit perhaps a little bit disjointed, although in the end we all came out with nice cards, but we had to throw a few wild cards and rolls in at the end so that everybody could, everybody had these great cards, but it wasn't attached to the card base, or they had, all these great pieces, but they had no sentiment or something. Anyway, we made it work. It was fun, and we all ended up with a fun card. So it was good. That was our last team meeting for 2025 last night, but there will be more in the new year. Okay, let's head down to the crafting space, and oh, a little bit of glare on that. Let me adjust the light perhaps for a moment. So this is the Fragrant Layers. If you haven't seen it, these are the inserts from our new uh, stamp and die packages. So all of our packaging is the same now. These are the same size, whether it's stamps or dies, and all of our stamps are now photopolymer. So uh, changes have started and they are coming. But anyway, this is the Fragrant Layers stamp set, two-step stamping, which I love because it gives you so much depth and texture in your stamped images with really very little effort. And these are the dies. This is the die packaging. Notice anything different about the die packaging? Yes, so we now have images of the dies printed right on the front of the insert. So that's a wonderful bonus because we didn't used to have that. And it was always a little tricky to, oops, to know what was, that was what dies were contained in that set just by the name. So now we have pictures, which is awesome. Okay, another little tip. Tip time. People are um, looking for different ways to store their stamps, and that I have just a clear bin. I'm not sure it'll show up really well under light here. Anyway, it's got a like a cutout handle on each end, and it's just a clear bin. Got it at a dollar store, Dollarama if you live in Canada. And the nice thing about this one, I don't know whether you can, kind of hard to see, but it has straight sides. So I know some people had found some nice bins, but they were tapered at the bottom. So they were smaller at the bottom than at the top. So while the package fit in at the top, it was a little snug at the bottom. So this one is straight sides, or it might taper ever so slightly, but not a lot, and it holds things. It's also not huge because I suspect when I get this full, it's going to be fairly heavy. So not huge is good. You can pick it up and carry it around, which will be good for me when cottage season comes again. Okay, stamps inside. Here's what I have done. This is just one option, because yes, there is the picture on the front, but when I am putting my stamps away, I like to know that I have everything. So when this was brand new, I just inked up the whole thing, set it on this side, closed, gave it a nice press, and there's all of my images. Okay. Then I took I'm going to say the thin topping piece. So this is the ridged edge of my stamps, and this is the piece that goes on the top of it. And I glued that right on top of my stamped images. Okay, glued that right on there. Put this on upside down. I had to use tearing tape on this one because it's quite thick and quite I don't know, shiny or something. There's no texture to it, so the tape runner wasn't sticking well. I suppose you could use liquid glue. That could work as well. I just used tear and tape on the back, and this is the thick piece under here. And then when you close it, this sticks to this piece of paper, and there's all of my stamps. Now, when I take this one off, this is just like taking it off of our old stamp cases if you used to store them that way. So I can take it off and I can use it. And then when I'm finished, I could either put it back in the spot here, or I could put it upside down. So this is now the flat part that goes on the block on my paper. And when I close that, uh, it's going to go back into its position. And when you open it, it's over here. Okay. The stamps do not stick to this the same way they stick to this. So there we go. Here comes Felix again. There he is. Okay, Felix, you are now a movie star, and you need to go find the paparazzi elsewhere. The other paparazzi, not this camera. Anyway, this is the Fragrant Layers stamp set, and we are going to play with this. So I'm going to take some of these off of here while I have it open. Great big flower bouquet. I have a large stamp for that, or block for that. And then, as I mentioned off the top, it is two-step stamping. So here is, this is the fill-in piece. Okay. I'm just going to put that on there, and then we are ready to begin. And I will also need these little leaves. The other wonderful thing with the two-step is that you can have one image here and that, but then your fill-in pieces can be more than one stamp, as is the case here. So you can add different colors. Just trying to see. I think these are both fill-in pieces. We do have one leaf there, but I don't think we need him. That's for adding additional leaves. Okay, we're going to set this aside for now. Just before we start, here is the card that I made last night. So it started, I wrote this all down. Do I still have it? Where's my little dice cheat sheet? Hmm. Not sure. Anyway, we started with some stamping and then we had to glue things. So I had stamped some of this, but actually was stamp. Now I'm wondering. I think we stamped twice. So I stamped the outline and then I got to fill it in right away. And then I had to glue it down. So I couldn't pop this up with dimensionals. So you know what? I'm going to make something similar today, but I'm going to pop it up with dimensionals just to see the difference. And then I got to cut something. So I cut out this sentiment piece. And then I had to glue it down. I hadn't stamped on it yet. And then I had to pop something up. So I put this here. I was going to tuck it underneath, but I didn't know what to do because everything was attached. I had nothing to pop up. And then I got to cut some leaves at one point, and I did, when we got into the wild cards, I got to stamp a sentiment. Look who's back. He's being a little bit of a pest today, isn't he? I don't really need your help with my crafting, okay? You need to find somewhere else to be. It's not dinner time yet. You are mistaken. Okay, so I am going to come in with a piece of basic white cardstock, and this is 5¼ by 4. And I think I'm going to use the same colors as I used last night. I'm not going to die cut these this time. I think I'm going to stamp those. So we'll just play around. Anyway, so this is Calypso Coral, okay? And you can ink it either way, but when I have these larger ones, I tend to like to leave my stamp facing up and bring the ink down on top of my stamp. For me, it seems to have a better end result. Okay, there we go. So, close this up. Calypso Coral, that's that one. And I'm just going to bring in my chamois and give this a little clean off. Set this over here. Okay, can you hear me jingling? I am jingling a little bit still, but my garbage can kind of in the way down there. Okay, now here is the fill-in one, and I'm going to use Timid Tiger for it. I love Timid Tiger. Somebody was asking about the in colors, and I mentioned to them that I'm sort of surprised how much I like it. It's such a lovely peachy orange color. Okay, so when you are doing two-step stamping, you want to come down slowly, hovering over your lined image, and as you get closer, it gets easier and easier to see where to line things up. And generally, they don't have to be perfect. In fact, some of the stamps in two-step stamping are made to not be perfect. So they have, I messed that up a little bit. It's quite dark, isn't it? Wasn't as dark last night. I mustn't have been as heavy-handed with my ink. We think we want to do him again. Do I have another piece? I don't have another piece here. And that's, well, I like it lighter. Okay, let's see if I have a piece of white cardstock handy. One moment. Now I'm definitely jingling. Okay, so I'm gonna set this one up here for now because maybe when I get the other one done, I'll decide that I do like this one best, but we will see. So quickly bringing in the trimmer, I am going to cut this at 4 inches. This will give us an opportunity to test the leaf stamping as well. Okay, and 5 1/4. There we go. Okay. I'm still sorting out this new desk arrangement. Not not entirely comfortable with it just yet. Still sort of sorting my way. Where did I put my other stamp? Okay, outline stamp. Back to Calypso Coral. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to bounce you guys around. Go. Look. Inky fingers. Felt them going into the ink pad there. Here we go. This little dash on somebody. You're my trimmer now. I don't know whether it's something I do when I'm skiing or what, but my wrist was aching again this morning and I'm feeling it now. I put my brace on for a little bit today. I have to get in the habit. Okay, so this time what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap paper and I'm going to ink this up the same. So I'm going to assume that it will be dark again. I'm going to ink the block as well, just for, for good measure or something. I'm going to give that just a little stamp off and come in here. Now, hopefully this won't be too light now, but we'll see. We'll see what we get. And we will have a choice. There we go. I like it better. What do you think? Darker or lighter? You have a preference? Leave me a comment and let me know. I'm going to use the lighter for this card. I'm not going to throw the other one away though, because although I prefer the lighter, the darker one is fine. It will still make a nice card. So I will do that as well. Bonus, extra cards. Okay, now we want to come in with Old Olive and do our leaves. And I'm thinking I'm going to do the leaves on this one first, and I'm going to do the first one full strength because that's what we have going on this one. But that'll tell us if we want to stamp off on the other one. And I think that perhaps we may want to do that. Now these guys, they're very similar, but they are not the same. So they do fit differently. This one has a little swoop to the end of the leaf. So There we go. And come over here, and now this time I'm going to stamp off. So these leaves are going to be a little bit lighter. And again, if you don't get these lined up perfectly, that's okay. It's hand stamped and it has almost a watercolor kind of look to it when it's not quite perfect. So here's something that I didn't do in this card last night because I kind of ran out of I didn't have enough stamping options, but maybe we will do this today, and that is to put a center in our flower. So there is a stamp for the center, and maybe I will even go back and put it into these. I'm going to put it into these. This is our full strength card. And then I'm going to put it into these, but these are going to be stamped off. If you don't quite get enough green where you want it, try again. There we go, filled in a bit. Okay, we are ready for our sentiment, and I haven't done it. This is just a note. Are we still at note or not in camera? There we go. Just a note, which is lovely. There's also hello, and it's your day. I'll show you what I have. I did some die cutting. I have a bunch of bits. Look at this. This is fun. I didn't even realize that it cuts this, but you could stamp and then put that around. I'm a little bit off camera. Anyway, you could use this to border something. I only did it in white though, so I think I'm just going to use these things. And I'm going to take, we have It's Your Day. Well, that might not quite fit onto this, will it? It's Your Day. Looks, no, it's a little bit big. So you know what? We're going to put that right onto the card, I think. Let's get it onto a block. Oh, one right onto there. And then maybe I will use hello. Will just a note fit on here? Just a note. But I think maybe I'll use hello, because then we'll have something different from them. Okay. Hello. Oh, hello. Hello is great because you can use it for anyone for any reason, right? You could you could write something inside and turn it into absolutely anything. It could be a birthday card. It could be, just a hi, how are you card, anniversary, anything at all. So let's put this onto here. Try and get it straight. Go right in the center. There we go. Oh, look at that. That's a nice font. I do like that font. And then we have this one with, I should take this scrap paper out or I'm going to end up with ridges in places that I don't want. Let's do this right side up though. this right over here? Should I, or should I be putting it onto maybe even will it fit on a 1/2 inch strip? Okay, so now I bring this back in case it overflows, but let's just see what we get. It's your day. Oh, that might be a little low. Oh no. But we do have some stuff in the middle there that we didn't really want. Wonder it might fit onto here. It would make sense that it would fit onto there because it's all from the same bundle, but you just never know, right? But it does fit. There we go. Okay, we're going to use that. We are not going to use this one with the extra ink. Little heavy-handed I was there. Okay, so now we have, I'm going to close this up before I make a big mess. I do not have a card base for this guy over here, but I'm going to pop that up, I think. Not sure what I'm going to do, but that's going to go on there. That is for that card. I do have a card base. For this card, I have a white card base, and I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals. When I do tone on tone cardstock, so even if it's a colored layer, I like to pop it up just so you really notice that there's that second layer. You can see it here, and it does have some texture, but I like it popped up. I think it just gives it a little bit more than adding. Anytime you add a card layer or cardstock layer, it gives it more texture and dimension. But if you pop it up, you get extra bang for your buck. And then we're going to put this on. I think I need some skinny guys for him. Could use the minis, but if you know me, you know I like the big ones. I just cut them to be small so they fit. Now I didn't put the designer series paper on there, and I kind of like the look of it. It just adds a little bit underneath there, but this one's going straight up. And then we're going to come in with some gems. What are we going to do for gems? Let's see. So last night I used some of these. These are the Pearls of Beauty, and I actually used the crumb cake ones. These are Calypso Coral, but since the lines are the only thing that's Calypso Coral, I just thought they were a little bit too intense. I didn't use those. Don't think we want peppermints, do we? Here's Timid Tiger. Put some of those on. They might work well. Let's use those. Given that this is Timid Tiger ink, it should work, right? Just gonna in few gems. Kind of liked how I did that last night. So let's do this. I'll take him, pick him up again. Put him over here. There we go. I like that. Okay, so there's that card kind of recreated from last night. And I have this one to put together another time. And I'll do that another time because I wanted to show you some of these die cuts. So these are some of the dies, and I didn't, as is typically the case, I didn't put adhesive sheets on the back of these because I was just sort of die cutting things to see what we got. And what we got is, it's not super narrow, so it won't be too bad to glue, but it's, this one is quite narrow. So there is an outline to a flower, and there's the flower, and this would need a little bit of matching up. So there's 3 bumps there and 3 bumps there, and look, isn't that pretty? And then there is an inside. I saved all the little bits because I didn't know what I was going to need. Oh, it's maybe this one. But I'm not going to use that because that's fiddly. So I will put this onto here. This is a, hello, Nancy, welcome. This is a liquid glue kind of guy. You're not going to be using tape runner on this. So I'm just going to add some little bits of glue to some of the larger sections here. I put this on my silicone mat. I wouldn't have to hold it in my hand, but here I am holding it in my hand. Okay. All right. And then this will go down onto here. And look at that. That is very lovely. Okay. So there's 2 dies that cut these 2 different pieces, which gives you some wonderful texture. And I've gone with Old Olive for my background layer on this one. And I embossed it. And I brought the folder with me. It's because it's a new one. Beautiful pattern embossing folder. And it is a beautiful pattern. Can you see that? Oops. There we go. Look at that. It's little tiny dots and then into diamonds, and there's little X's inside. So it's a very fine pattern, but it adds some lovely texture to your cardstock. So that's going to go onto there, and then we're going to put this on somehow. And then I did cut, these are die cut leaves, and I've got Old Olive and Old Olive, which I was kind of wondering about. Probably should have done something a little bit different, but I have Old Olive ink here. Do I have in daubers? That's kind of blue. I might need to grab, oh, maybe. Let's try this, shall we? Look, we're just, we're mucking about. No, I'm going to grab a dauber. And the time it took me to do that, I probably could have grabbed some mossy meadow cardstock and recut those, but it's okay. We're going to do it this way. So we are going to take some of these leaves. I have plenty, as you can see. And those are different, aren't they? Or is this a back? If you can't tell the front from the back, then you don't need to worry about it. If you can tell the front from the back, then turn it to the front. Okay, so here's the 2 different leaves, and there's the 3 leaf. I'm going to grab my Old Olive sponge dauber, maybe. Oh, I don't think this is it. I kind of think my old one was falling apart, and that looks like they uh they last a long, long time when you label them and just use them in the one color, but eventually the sponge does deteriorate. Uh, and some of my sponge daubers are like years and years and years old, so that could explain why some of them are starting to, just the sponge starts to pull away from the rest. So this is just going to make them darker. They're still old olivey, but they will be darker so that they will show up on our old olive base. That's going to work really well. Okay, I'll put these away so that I know which ones are the ones that I inked. Come over here, and now I think I could pop this up on dimensionals because this is large enough that we can get dimensionals on it. Probably need the skinny ones. That's okay. Probably need to cut another row so we have some skinny ones. So this one even looks, it looks a little bit large for in here, but here's an edge one that may work. There we go. That will work. Over there. Okay. Get these backs off. So all of these products will be available starting January the 6th. Of course, when you're a demonstrator, you get to play early, and that's some of the fun, but then I can share these things with you and tease you with all the fun things that are coming. Now, these guys will tuck in there nicely. I don't think I want to pop them up. I'm going to leave them kind of loose. So to do that, easy way to do this is by using glue dots. I'm just going to put a glue dot right near the bottom. Yep. And I'm just going to tuck it in there. And then the top will just be sort of loose. I think I quite got all the glue dot on there. Just here. Okay. And second one. Here. The third one. At the bottom somewhere. Here. Here. Maybe up there. And that shows up nicely now since they are darker. Shall we come in with hello again, or should we do something longer? Could do hello again, couldn't we? We still have it on the block ready to go. Stuck my fingers in the ink again, didn't I? Fingernail. There we go. Sign of a true crafter. Inky fingers. Okay. And we'll pop this off. And then it will be ready for final assembly. These colors, in case you were wondering, were Fresh Freesia and Berry Burst. I often use Petunia Pop with fresh freesia, but I had a piece of Berry Burst out and I thought, oh, that would look nice. So that's what we did. There we go. I think I will put this down flat because we have a lot of popped up bits on there. So this is embossed, so I'm going to come in again with my liquid glue so that it fills in all the little nooks and crannies and crevices and has lots of sticky power. Here comes a helper again. I hear him approaching. It's the little guy. Mr. Felix is back. Walking into your picture. Okay, you know, people are trying to see what I'm doing, not where you are. He's just, when he wants attention, he gets pretty persistent. Come on, baby. Come on. I would lock him out, but at this point, we're coming towards the end. So we'll just put him down. Hope that he doesn't return too quickly. It's time. So I'm thinking some gems right in there, but I might need, I'll show you a little trick. Oh, these? No, those are not right. But these iridescent, oh, they could work. Okay, so here's a little secret, or a little, it's not a secret, a little trick. Where are my mini dimensionals? Hiding at the bottom because I don't use them very often. Oh, goodness. I need to use these up. Those are just edge sheets. Okay, well, we have more. Nobody panic. Are these? These are regular. So one advantage of my desk being flipped is I have my drawer of adhesive right here. Look, whole new sheet. So I am going to take a dimensional and put it right into that center. And the reason I'm doing that is because I have popped up this piece, and if I don't fill these holes, my gems will have nothing to stick to. So now they're going to be double stuck because I'm going to take the backs off of the dimensionals. So they will be sticky and the gems are sticky. So you don't need all that stickiness, but that's just what you get. And then when I do that, the gem has something to stick to. Okay, so there we go. We need some more gems. We might need some more gems around here, right? Let's just get on a bit of a gem roll, shall we? It's different from a drum roll. I have small ones. Could use some small ones? Sure. Let's just put these little guys on here. There we go. I like that better. Needed that. Needed that little extra. Okay. So there we have it. Fragrant Layers. Just going to move him out of the way since that's not what we did today. Whoops, put this back here. Clean up my desk area a little bit. And I will come back in here. Maybe there we go. Alrighty, so there are a couple of cards with the fragrant layers, one with the two-step stamping and the other one just using the die cut pieces to create beautiful flower arrangement. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you like the cards. This is, as I say, this is a new bundle that will be available in early January, and so watch for that. December 18th, Christmas is 1 week from today, so guess what? I will not be doing Craft Spot next Thursday. And I probably will, no, I definitely will not be doing it on January 1st because I am working on January 1st. So I will have a new schedule starting in January. Craft Spot is going to have to move because I will be on the ski hill on Thursdays for the next few months. So I will be moving Craft Spot probably to Monday or Tuesday. I'm not certain yet, but those are 2 days that I'm generally not on the ski hill. So I'm thinking one of those would make sense. All right. Thank you again for being here. And if you would share this video with your friends, give me a thumbs up or some hearts. I always love that. And if you have not subscribed to my mailing list, please do so because then you will know all that's going on at Great Stamping with Connie. Have a wonderful holiday season, a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a whatever you are celebrating. Enjoy time with family and just have a wonderful, wonderful next couple of weeks. Take care, everyone. We will see you all again soon. Bye for now.